You come back to your haven after a long night out. Right before you open the door, you notice something strange. The sounds of television are coming from your apartment. Mad Men, if you're not mistaken. Like the TV show? Interesting. You open the door and carefully peek in. A young, disheveled woman is curled up on your sofa. She has a blanket pulled up on top of her and seems very comfortable. Next to her lies an obviously unconscious, preppy woman. Well, I'm concerned about this. Oh god, it's the stalker. So I guess this didn't resolve itself when I, refused the guy's blood, because I think that was meant to be a gift from her. What voice am I doing for her? Oh, you're home! The woman reaches for the remote and puts Mad Men on pause. You weren't home, so I started without you. You know, Netflix and chill. Join me, there's space on the sofa. I brought us a snack. You didn't enjoy the one I gave you before, but this is a different type. The woman points lazily to the unconscious girl. Oh, I forgot. My name is Adelaide. Adelaide Davis. I like you a lot. Help yourself and settle in. Well, Netflix and chill? Well, we could take advantage of the feeding opportunity. Listen, IRL, if some random woman showed up at my place and was like, hey, I would be freaked the fuck out, and I would be like, oh my god, what are you doing? Get the fuck out. But we're vampires, and I don't know, she hasn't really seemed that dangerous. Uh, You know, what's a little harmless stalking between vampires? All right, we can at least take advantage of the feeding opportunity for now. Netflix and chill? Adelaide makes space on the sofa as you sit down between her and the unconscious mortal. You lean to drink from the girl as Adelaide uses the remote to turn Mad Men back on. The girl moans sleepily as you drink from her, but doesn't wake. Her blood tastes pleasant and unhurried, a far cry from the adrenaline of blood you get by hunting a victim who knows you're coming. Interesting. As you lick the girl's wound closed and sit back on the sofa, Adelaide lies down and rests her head in your lap. Isn't this nice? Well, I guess we're just going full into the delusion now. I didn't, I was hoping I could be like, listen, we can be friends if you want. That's fine. But you gotta stop following me around, and I'd appreciate it if you would tell me you were coming to my apartment before you just showed up. Well, I've always liked Mad Men. It was a fairly neutral thing to say, I guess, in terms of the situation. I mean, I've never seen it, but anyways, people say it's good. I've always liked Mad Men. Me too. It reminds me of another life long ago, even if it wasn't quite like it is on the show. I remember more blood and screaming. We watched the show together, taking small sips from the human every now and then. You didn't know vampires could spend time like this. The door to your apartment opens. Your mind is elsewhere, and you react slowly. Sophie strides into your living room. She has a key to your haven and never bothers to knock, of course. You're shacking up with. Wait, what was Sophie's voice again? You're shacking up with Adelaide Davis? The scourge of the scourge of Snug Harbor in the flesh. This is a new low for you, fledgling. I'm embarrassed for you, really. Perhaps I should not be surprised. Come on, Sophie, let me have the. Seriously, why can't she just let me have, a nice time having Netflix and chill? Because, okay, fine. Adelaide, you better go. Adelaide glances at Sophie and gives you a quick kiss on the cheek. Sophie sighs. Adelaide leaves. Oh, thankfully she didn't fight me or try and kill Sophie, because that would have been bad. Adelaide leaves the room, making sure to give as wide a berth to Sophie as possible. Sophie waits for the door of the apartment to close before she speaks. Clan of the Moon. Did I not advise caution when dealing with them? Oh, she's Malkavian. Yeah, I feel like that should make sense. As you watch, Sophie makes a phone call. 10 minutes later, 2 of her servants arrive to remove the unconscious girl sprawled on her sofa. Sprawled on your sofa. Well, I guess technically it is her sofa. You clearly need my help. It won't happen tonight, but let me see if I can resolve your stalker problem for real. You're left to wonder what Sophie meant by that as she leaves your haven. Let's not murder her, please. She seems nice enough. She's probably just lonely. That's the whole night? Really? Or was that daytime? I'm confused. Anyways. So now we have Stalker Girl again. We have D'Angelo. We gotta finish this thing with Hope. And the reporter's back. Fuck me, dead and sideways. You taken care of Frank Doherty. But apparently there's someone still staking out Sophie's apartment. He's not that stupid, is he? Okay, I don't think this is going to take the whole night, hopefully, so let's do this first. The weather is cold and windy as you walk to Sophie's apartment. As a vampire, that doesn't matter anymore. You may have been saddled with eternal hunger, but at least you can ignore the wind chill. Just as you come to the door of Sophie's building, she storms out, murmuring into her phone. Yes, I know. Don't worry, I trust you to handle it. You've heard Sophie talk to her associates before. It's always the same. Generalities and vague suggestions. It makes you think she's involved in mysterious machinations, yet doesn't tell you anything. Sophie is dressed to kill, but there's nothing unusual in that. She likes to make an impression. A black car with tinted windows is waiting for her in front of the door. A chauffeur steps out to open the car door for her. Sophie notices you. I'm glad you're in the neighborhood. If you could look around for me one more time, that would be wonderful. You told me you had gotten rid of that reporter. Turns out he's still here, snooping around. Sophie is very good at communicating disappointment. She doesn't have to do much to make it clear she's unhappy to have to return to this issue. Well, I thought I had gotten rid of him, but okay. I thought he was gone for sure. He didn't seem very brave. Sometimes cowards are even worse than those with a backbone. They're sneakier. The reporter talked his way into the building during the day. Once the doorman understood what was happening, he threw him out. He showed old pictures of me to my neighbors. It's very awkward, you understand. Sophie disappears into the car, and the chauffeur closes the door behind her. You watch as the sleek vehicle disappears into the Manhattan traffic, just one anonymous car among many. Best to sit down somewhere and devise a plan of action. You go to a nearby diner, settle into a booth, and order a coffee from the steely-eyed Latino waitress. As she brings you your cup, you describe Frank Doherty to her on the off chance she's seen something. Ugh, I don't know why that was hard to say. Just as she's about to answer, you happen to look outside. Something catches your eye. The diner is brightly lit, so you lean closer to the window to see the street through it. You got lucky. Frank is standing on the sidewalk on the other side of the street, looking at something on his phone. You slide out of the booth, throwing a few small bills on the table. Mumbling something to the waitress, you step outside. We could try and follow Frank covertly, or trust in the powers of the blood. Well, we had fed recently, so it should be fine. Aspects, you trust in the powers of the blood. You keep out of sight and follow Frank patiently. His scent is so strong that you don't have to see him to stay on his tail. He disappears into an alley. It's different from the last encounter, but could as well be the same for all the protection it'll afford him. Oh my god, it's you! Please don't hurt me! Frank cradles his new camera in his arms, terrified of what you will do to him. Be smart. Don't worry, last time you were stupid, but this time you won't be, right? Right, please. Just tell me what you want. I thought we agreed there's no story. How come you're here? I thought we agreed there's no story. Well, yeah, that's kind of what I was afraid of. Usually when someone says there's no story, it means there is a story. I just couldn't let it go. Look, I don't want any trouble. I can see that you're serious. There's something to Sophie Langley. I think you know what it is. You take a long, hard look at Frank Doherty. He's a tenacious man, but not brave. After the last time you met, you were sure he had been dealt with. Where did he find the courage to come here again? What's your real angle? I like you, Frank. You don't give up. What's your real angle here? Everybody plays an angle. That's one of the things you learn in my profession. Going southern again, for Christ's sake. Lord Almighty. You're smart. You know there'll be others after me. If there's a real story, they'll come and find it. Your best shot is with a friendly reporter, someone you can trust, someone like me. So what do you say? Get it ahead of the story. It'll be good for you and Miss Langley, too. You almost believe it, but something about Frank feels off. Okay, so feeding him false information is another point. Okay, so we could do presence, trust in your blood to convince Frank, or do you have personal interest in this? Presence might work because we fed recently, but we just used aspects, so I'm a little worried about it. Alright. Fingers crossed again. Fingers crossed that this is gonna work. Trust in your blood to convince Frank. You don't say anything at first. It's easy to dismiss Frank as a joke, a has-been. Yet there's something beneath his talk, another story. A moment of silence is all you need for your presence to properly register in Frank's mind. He's too weak-willed to resist. Someone's leaning on you, Frank. Come clean. What? No, absolutely not. Frank's voice sounds shrill. You know you got it right in one guess. Sometimes I just need some extra money, that's all. Where does this extra money come from? There's a guy. He's paying me, that's all. But I can't talk about that. We're not drinking Frank dry. Oh my god, that would be such a bad idea. So you can either push Frank for information or offer Frank to work for you. I mean, we probably don't really need him, but like, I guess that would be a good way to neutralize the threat, because that way we can keep a hold of him, but like Sophie's not going to want to pay him, right? We could try pushing Frank for more information. Alright. Push Frank for information. Come on, you can give me more than that. Oh really? I don't even know all that much about these people. Do they pay you? Yeah, but not enough. They're pretty scary, to tell you the truth. Okay, that's enough. I can't tell you anything more. You've got to consider the position I'm in. Don't come here a third time. Ditch those guys you work for. But that's kind of... But if we're saying don't spend your life jumping hoops at the behest of scary strangers, we're a scary stranger that's telling him what to do. But anyways, here's some free advice. Spend less time jumping hoops at the behest of scary strangers. Life will go better for you. Fine, I'll leave her alone. I'm done with this. It was all bullshit anyway. You can tell Sophie Langley that you won't see me anymore. As Frank leaves the alley, you consider your victory. He sounded defeated, sincere. Is it really up to him whether he returns or not? Alright, I don't think the night's over, so let's finish off the Hope situation, and then that's probably going to be the end of the night, and hopefully we still have time to finish off the D'Angelo situation so I can get both of them on my side. And then hopefully I can, and then I guess like if we have time left I can meet with my stalker, but I don't know. I think we're on night like either 12 or 13, so we're running out of time. Alright, double spiral. You and Hope set out to destroy Cara Montgomery's company from within. Accept. Okay, we're gonna finish this and then we're done. Hope's poorly scribbled message reaches you in your haven. Within an unmarked envelope, you find a barely legible address you're supposed to reach and the hour you're expected to arrive there. This is it then, the night of the final showdown. You check the clock. There's way more than enough time to comfortably reach your destination, but you decide to take a drive earlier just in case. The ride is uneventful, but it becomes more and more tense as it goes on. The gravity of the situation starts getting to you. You're about to set out on an operation against a key NYC figure, well connected with both human and vampire elites. What if her security overwhelms you? How will the council react to your raid? You can only trust that Hope has thought it all through. She doesn't seem like the type who'd attempt a suicidal mission. Which isn't something you'd typically say about a person who regularly inflicts violence on herself in front of the camera. Yeah. But I mean, to a vampire, like, it's all meaningless anyways. Like, when you can heal like that. I can't snap, but imagine that was a snap. Snap of the finger. It's not really that big of a deal. When you arrive at your destination, you find yourself in front of a building with a double spiral logo on it. This must be Montgomery's headquarters, then. You look around the street and notice an obnoxiously lavender Mazda car parked nearby. Even though you've never seen it before, you might have an idea of who it belongs to. Yeah, didn't that used to be what Hope's car looked like? You park your own car at a distance from this double spiral building and approach the Mazda. A familiar figure is behind the wheel, holding a smartphone in her hand. You knock on the window. She opens a window without turning her eyes from the device. At Romance Apocalypse. Wow, you're early. What are you writing? What are you writing there? My last will and testament. Is she joking, or... She lets a dead silence linger in the air for 10 seconds, then she stops typing, diverts her eyes from the screen, gives you a melancholic stare. Oh no, she's serious. And winks. No, she's not serious. Please say psych. Psych. I love you, baby girl. God damn it. Come on, what's with that face? I suffer from too much FOMO to let myself die. God, that's so me. I've got accounts to run, notifications to check. Plus, no way in hell I'd allow Montgomery the satisfactory of a draw. We're going there to secure a flawless victory. No time to wait. Let's go. She gets out of the car and motions you to walk with her. Anywho, glad you managed to make sense of my ugly scribbles. I totally forgot how exhausting it is to write stuff by hand. God, she is literally me. She's literally me and my just graphic ass. I like can't write to save my life. Still, not as exhausting as having to deliver messages personally to someone's door. Next time you meet Langley, ask her to get you a flip phone or something, okay? You reach the front of the building. We're about to burn this shithole down to the ground. So what's the plan? Hope, I wouldn't mind if you let me in on the plan this time. Oh, Ash, baby. One would think that by now you'd know I'm a need-to-know basis kind of gal. Don't I need to know? But luckily, there's not much of a plan to talk about. You've done all the hard work during your meeting with Cara. You see, our job is easy. We need to get in, destroy the server containing all the double spiral research, and walk out. No spectacle, no dramatic showdowns. Now, I know exactly what you're gonna say. At Ash. But wait, Hope! If this data is so priceless, shouldn't she have external backups? Is Cara a complete dunce? At Death to Double Spiral. Excellent question, my neonate friend. The answer is yes, she's a dunce, but aside from her numerous negative qualities, she also has a positive one. She's totally paranoid. She used to be a naive dumbass who wouldn't even cover up her laptop camera, but she lost trust in all external companies after a little cyber espionage incident. She's obsessed with not uploading her precious data anywhere online. Now she only has one physical backup, hidden deeper inside the headquarters. Nobody has any idea where it might be, but I do. Normally I'd never be able to reach the place. Double Spiral is like an underground base. The walls and doors are reinforced, both against the living and the dead. But the answer to this problem is simple. We only need Cara to lend us her voice so we can override all the security measures and get to the heart of the facility. What do you say, Cara? Will you help your girl out for the old time's sake? Hope quickly writes down something on her phone. A few seconds later, a nearly perfect imitation of Cara Montgomery's voice escapes her speaker. You know it. Let's bust this bitch open. Wow, the sound quality is incredible, and the voice sounds only the tiniest bit off. Whatever she paid for the tech, it was worth it. At Death to Double Spiral. Oh, and if you're afraid of consequences from the Camarilla, don't be. I'm assuming full responsibility and my ass is covered. I've got some favors to collect and to offer. Besides, Cara's a goddamn snake and everyone knows it. No important player will miss her influence. They were only tolerating her in case she hit it big with her tech. It's all about cash in abundance. Life's a bitch and then you die. Some parts sound a tiny bit too robotic. Could there be a pattern here? Oh yeah, the T's are too robotic. Too bad she won't ever get the chance to succeed, so without further ado, shall we? Hope starts marching towards the revolving door. You close your eyes, make an effort to sharpen your senses, and follow the Malkavian into the lobby of the double spiral building. There's a sole security guard at the entrance. He raises his voice to ask you about your business, but is stopped short by Hope's commanding voice. Hope's commanding voice, I think that was. Manipulative snake. No need, we're expected. The man looks lost and disoriented for a moment, then the gears in his head slowly begin to turn. And he nods his head, silently opening a gate leading to the elevators. Hope heads into one of them and you follow. She presses a button and the car starts heading to the lowest floor. Eventually, the doors open. At Dungeon Master Guide PDF. Welcome to Cara Montgomery's Deadly Dungeons, Ash. What appear before your eyes are the dimly lit corridor of an IT office, empty and silent. The air is stiff and dusty, and there's a sharp, rotten stench in the air that you're unable to identify. The menacing atmosphere makes it hard to recognize at first. But this looks like an active workplace. It really is a dungeon, although a corporate one, where people are cheated of life. This environment feels alien to you, but you know people who have relinquished the pretenses of being artists and started calling themselves content generators. That's how you imagine their workplaces, yeah. At Riot Control Girl, let's just get to the first floor and test my little Cara out. You follow her until you reach the end of the corridor. There you encounter an expensive-looking reinforced door with voice controls on the side. Hope pushes a button. A robotic voice comes out of the speaker. Semiotics. Seriously? Come on. Hope types the word into her phone, and lets a virtual Cara repeat the password. Semiotics. Oh boy, a sound rings out, reminiscent of cues that TV quiz shows used to let the contestant know he gave a wrong answer. Verification error. Please try again. You give Hope a nervous look. She bites her lip and presses the button again. Oh shit, it's not good enough. Hyper real. Tap, 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 tap. Hyper real. Access granted. The doors slowly open. You notice your companion is wearing a sour expression. Looks like the tech isn't quite perfect. At least the passwords seem randomized, so we can try and brute force our way in, unless the system locks us out after a few failed attempts. She shakes her head and turns to you, her lips attempting to approximate a sincere smile. Captain ACAB. Well, we can only hope that the data you collected is enough. Into the beast's maw we go. She marches into the room and you walk in right after her. The doors lock behind you with a loud thud. It's a wide-open office. It would be as murky as the corridor you just left if it wasn't for rows of monitors illuminating the space. The shadow figure stares at every screen in the room. Cara's voice plays from Hope's speaker. Behold, this is where the magic happens. A family of driven folks hungry for success, always taking the bull by the horns, building a high-performance culture together. None of the figures raise their heads. They're too busy programming, organizing spreadsheets, and typing in endless strings of text. Christ, this is bleak. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with these guys? Get up, startup. Don't worry, they're likely just a bunch of ghouls and whatnot. Hardworking, conditioned, tireless, low maintenance, kinda dumb. Perfect workers. Probably won't leave their seats unless we make them, but let's not. We've got more important things to do, like destroying a few years' worth of their work. The figures don't stop pounding away on their keyboards. In fact, they don't react to her words at all. Alrighty, so do we go straight to the server room or do you want to check one of the side rooms first? Your call. I prefer to wrap things up here as fast as possible, but hey, little Cara is here with us thanks to the data you gathered. You betcha. Or it's more like, you betcha. If you think you can use her voice for something useful, hey, feel free to do it. You look around and think how to respond. I feel like we probably shouldn't risk it, right? But it could be something useful. I don't know. Okay, this door looks curious. Actually, let's try this door. You approach a door with a huge sign saying staff only. Next to it, you spot familiar voice controls. Hope nods at you and pushes the button. Oh, these are tricky. Right, shit. Vaudeville. Hope taps the screen of her phone a few times and puts the speaker next to the door's microphone. Oh, you have got to be kidding me. Body bile. Verification. Error. Access denied. You push the button again. Shit, this one doesn't randomize. Fuck me dead and sideways. I knew this was gonna get us into trouble. God damn it. Fucking Christ. Vaudeville. Card Caper Socialist. Looks like this one doesn't have a randomizer built in. Won't do us any good to keep trying. The capital wins once again. Let's move on, comrade. For a second you wonder if there's anything you could have done to succeed here. Then you shrug your shoulders and follow Hope out of the room. Yeah, if you had like a better voice control thing, then you might have been able to get into that room, but whatever. Hopefully it's not like a total failure. Another depressing corridor reeking of who knows what. You expect Hope to walk to the very end again, but this time she stops halfway and starts mumbling under her breath. Joy Sparker. Wait, was it this door? Or don't tell me she moved things around. It looks like she's been here before. Not a surprise in itself, but she gives off an impression of a person who used to know the entire layout of the building very well. After brief reflection, Hope approaches the door a few feet away and pushes the button next to it. Apocalypse. So Apocalypse doesn't have any T's or V's, so we should be fine. Well, that's cheery. Apocalypse. Access granted. You walk inside. At first glance, this office looks very similar to the last one you entered, rows of screens and rows of listless silhouettes in front of them. However, Hope quickly spots difference. At Quaz 2834855930122, Jesus Christ. Target confirmed. Moving to data room. There's a room with endless machines at the back of the open space. Hope walks in, takes out some hardware out of a bag she's carrying, and begins the process of removing the data. Should have invested in SSDs, sis. Time to bust out my portable degosser. She turns to you. This will take a good minute. I've got a few other tricks up my sleeve. If you find something that interests you, let me know. Should you wait near her or take a look around? I feel like looking around might draw attention. I don't know. But what if I see something that might be useful is the thing? I'm gonna say stay put. Cross your fingers. Better to stay put. I'd rather stay here. Who knows what might happen. Viruses, degaussed hard drives, some plain old boring vandalism. I hope you don't expect anything breathtaking to happen here. You don't, and it doesn't. You spend most of the following 30 minutes gazing at the dead-eyed ghoul on his screen next to you. When Hope is nearly done with her digital mischief, an error message appears on the ghoul's screen. He tries to fight it for a while, but it's so futile, so he just slumps down, resigned. A while passes. Finally, you hear a triumphant yell. At Ghosty in the shell. All done, baby. It looks like those boys are finally gonna get a break. I keep reaching for my mouse and then remembering that it's charging. You realize that the constant rhythm of mechanical keyboards has stopped. The workers are all idling, slumped over their desks, completely resigned to the fact that the raison d'etre has disappeared. Hope hurriedly collects her hardware and motions you to follow after her. Alright, we're almost done. Now we just need to take care of the backups and we can get the hell away from here. You take a last glance at the ghouls and follow her steps. Yet another corridor, hardly discernible from the previous ones. This is a giant underground complex. How much money has Montgomery spent on it? Hope looks around, frowning, mumbling something indecipherable. Eventually she points in front of her. At 777777. There! This must be where she keeps the backups. It's a sturdy metal door unlike any other in this building. Right next to it, however, is a voice-based security system you know pretty well by now. Please, 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 just no second last surprises! She hesitates to do it, but eventually she pushes the button. Eternal return. Okay, I think we're good. Oh, there's a T in there, but hopefully we'll be okay. Hope dutifully types down the term on her phone. Eternal return. Access denied. Please try again. Hope hisses under her breath. This time you push the button. Double spiral that doesn't have any T's or V's. We should be okay. Double spiral. Tap, tap, tap. Oh, the bees are also having issues as well, apparently. Fuck nuggets. Alright. Double spiral. You feel like time has frozen. For whatever reason, it takes longer than usual for the speaker to deliver the verdict. Access granted. What a relief. The metal doors grind loudly as they invite you in. This time you walk into first and Hope follows. Wait a minute. Do you recognize this place? What? What? This is Hope's lair. What the fuck? It shouldn't be here, but there's no two ways about it. This is Hope's haven. Same bed, same decorations, same ambiance. It's a lot more dusty, but at XOXOXOX, do not disturb XOXOX. The backups are in the back. I'll just get them. She seems a little sheepish as she approaches the double spiral devices and unpacks her own hardware to take care of them. You take in your surroundings. Would you mind explaining what's going on here? Hope sighs. What's there to explain? Just think a little. The first explanation that pops into your head will probably be the right conclusion. She looks at you as if she was about to add something, then bites her tongue and gets back to destroying her rival's life. She makes it obvious she doesn't want to re-examine her past. So she used to work here? Live here? Was she and Cara, like, together? Interesting. You rest against the bed, quietly watching Hope's technological wizardry and wondering about her past relationship with Cara for who knows how long. Every second you spend here, you become more impatient to get out. Eventually, the devices surrounding the double spiral backups start disappearing into the bag they were taken out of. Looks like the process is nearing completion. You decide to approach the door before it does. However, before you even make a move, the doors begin to make a grinding noise. You freeze up watching them open. Behind them stands the very person you were afraid would appear. That's the punk t-shirt you hoped you would avoid seeing tonight. Jesus fucking Christ almighty. Hope raises her head, and their eyes meet. Both of their faces momentarily turn to stone. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh. You could pick out any emotion from their stares, and you'd probably be right. An unbearable tension fills the room as nobody wants to make the first move. Christ alive. Eventually, it's Hope who decides to break this stalemate by loudly pressing the enter button on her laptop and immediately dropping it into her bag. You doubt it's anything more than a provocation, Malkavian letting her opponent know she won, but it works. The noise makes Montgomery snap out of her stupor. You psycho. You fucking demented, vindictive psycho. The air turns thick with murderous intent. Hi! Christ, Hope. This is what happens when you don't let me in on the plan, or, like, help me workshop it with you. Like, Jesus Christ, I could have seen this coming. Hope pretends she hasn't noticed Cara's bloodthirst becomes palpable. You're supposed to be on the other side of the city right now, at the meeting. I am notified about every failed voice authentication attempt I got back here, expecting to find some idiot still trying to make their way through the front. She looks around. But I never expected. Just how? Hope reluctantly types something down on her phone. I'm the CEO of Double Spiral, and I endorse wrecking my shit. Cara grimaces at the sound of her own voice and quickly connects the dots. You fucking gremlin! How did you get your hands on that kind of tech? Even I. At the new batch 1990. Company secret. Hope's provoking her, no two ways about it. Cara knows it, so she's trying to keep it cool. I built this paradise for you. For us. At no hope left. For yourself and nobody else. What happened to the Hope I used to know? She can't come to the phone right now. She's dead. Oh my god, not the Taylor Swift reference. Oh my god. Not the Reputation reference. When did that album come out? In like 2017? So yeah, I guess it would be kind of topical because I think this is like 2019. I regret the day I let you into my life. Stop lying to yourself, Cara. You only regret the day you let me out of my life. Shouldn't have let your mask slip, honey. A snappish response almost escapes Cara's mouth, but she manages to stop herself before letting the discussion devolve into a childish spat. Just tell me there's a copy of my data you haven't ruined, and I'll let you out of here alive. She gives you a hateful look. Both of you. Hope tilts her head and flashes an evil ear-to-ear grin. At truthful MSM, Jesus, I don't know why I couldn't say that. Not a single bit of data remains. More than a decade of your work down the drain. Welcome to the worst night of your life since the .com crash, Miss Montgomery. Cara looks as if a stake was just driven through her heart. She starts to collapse, sliding down against the door like she was sinking deeper and deeper into her personal hell. Hope stares at her torment, wearing an indecipherable expression, waiting for her rival to reach the floor. Then she does, and there, at the lowest point of her life, she finds something unexpected. I never, ever wanted to do this. This is not me. Her voice sounds completely different. But if there's only one way out of this mess, I'm going to take it. I'm going to get my data back. Hope looks confused for a second, then an understanding dawns on her. At me. Come on, Cara, you wouldn't dare. You started this game, now accept your loss. The game isn't over until all players are out of moves, honey. Baring your fangs now? There's two of us against one, even if you commit the sin of diablerie. Okay, I think diablerie is when you kill your child, potentially, or kill another vampire. I'm not positive. Yeah, the consummation of another kindred's blood to the point of the victim's final death. Right! It's drinking another kindred's blood to the point of final death. Vampires may not only lower their generation permanently through this abhorrent practice, but also incorporate the target's very nature and spirit into themselves. That's interesting. So she's talking about like drinking Hope's blood, killing her, and then absorbing her knowledge through Hope. Interesting. The last time something like this happened to me, I was ready to die. I think I'll take my chances. It's not like I haven't dreamed about feeling my fangs inside you for a long, long time. Okay, wow. Kinky. Or I guess not for vampires, that's like business as usual. That's like Tuesday night for vampires, but like, that's gay, I think I was meaning to say. So you want to give me this one victory? Prove once and for all that I was right? It was never about me, but about all the stupid garbage in my head? A victory. Please. Victories are material. They aren't like your little online arguments. She's serious about this, Ash. She wants to devour me as a whole, sacrifice her humanity in exchange for access to my soul and everything I know. Stay away, Ash. You want money, data, domain privileges, a position at Double Spiral? Anything you want you can get if you just look the other way. Don't listen to this shit. The moment the prince finds out, it's final death for... And Cara runs, her moves resembling a beast more than human, immediately closing the distance to Hope. Then she jumps at the Malkavian like a wild animal hunting her prey. Hope instinctively attempts to defend herself, but is immediately overwhelmed. Laying on the ground, she looks like a deer in the headlights. Cara, on the other hand, looks like a bear ready to maul its victim. If you want to react, you need to do it now. Celerity. Oh, but I've been using my powers basically all night tonight, and I haven't fed recently. Fuck. Alright, let's try. Celerity, separate them as quickly as possible. You push yourself to the limit and let your powers take over. The world slows down, letting you run up to Cara and Hope in the blink of an eye. You immediately grab Montgomery by her clothes and attempt to yank her aside. However, the moment she recognizes your touch, she immediately attempts to swat you down. Despite your superhuman speed, she's almost as quick as you. Oh no. Her limbs keep zooming wildly towards your vital areas. You dodge every one of them, but each time feels like narrowly jumping out of the way of an oncoming truck. You back away. Better try something different before she gets lucky and hits you. Let your instincts take over or calmly look around. I don't know if we have time to calmly look around. I'm gonna fuck this up so hard. Jesus, I can already feel it in my gut that, like, this isn't gonna go well. It's a 50-50 chance, right? So, maybe if we calmly look around, we can spot, like, a weapon or something? I don't know. Oh, I feel like maybe that was a mistake. Decide to let your instincts take over. Before you know it, you're already at a full sprint. You run up to Cara, grab her, and start pulling her away from Hope. Shit. However, you're dealing with a beast here. Choosing to trust your instincts, you underestimated hers. Damn it. Before you realize what's happened, you find yourself smashed against the nearest wall. Confused and in pain, you check your torso. Some bones feel broken, but you still got lucky and should be able to move around, but this will take time to heal. Yeah, I fucked up. I done fucked up. Cara's already focused on attacking Hope again. Just rushing in blindly won't help. You'll need a plan. Wait. There's no point to just rushing in blindly. Yeah, alright. That's the game being like, you dumbass. Stop fucking this up. You need to think things through. Cara's like a feral animal right now. You don't wrestle with those. You use tools to overwhelm them. You look at Hope's bag. Could any of her devices help? No way in hell. Think harder. You look at the bed, the pillows, the canopy, hooks hanging down from the ceiling. Bingo. You grab one of the hooks and yank the chain. It's long enough for your idea to work. You run up to Cara, who's about to maul Hope like a wild animal. Then you stab her with all your strength. The hook gets deep underneath her skin. Cara yells, but there's more surprise than pain in her voice. You quickly wrap the chain around her a few times, then you step back and start pulling it with all your strength. Cara's taken by surprise. Still not understanding what's going on, she loses her balance and gives her victim a chance to escape. Okay, there we go. I think this is gonna work. Hope takes it, still dazed, but she takes a second to understand the situation. But when she does, she runs up to you and starts pulling the chain with you. You never handle her alone, but Hope displays surprising strength while pulling the chain. A minute later, she's hanging above the floor like a butcher's carcass. The end of the hook is stuck in her chest, and it's sinking deeper as she struggles. However, she's flailing so wildly she might free herself before it puts her out of commission. What? Sorry, I don't know what noises I'm making right now. Also, I feel like my mic's probably gonna eat them. You use one hand to desperately search for something that can help you under the bed. Belts, handcuffs, a whip. A giant cattle prod. You have no time to act bemusedly. You put it to her head and turn it on. The device must be modified. The power current is so powerful, it causes scarring almost immediately. She's getting weaker and weaker. It takes Cara a while to accept defeat, but eventually she does. Her body is seemingly lifeless, her head hanging down, She looks like a grotesque portrait of defeat. The hook must have reached her heart. It takes Hope a long time to collect herself. Eventually she manages to speak up. Great, we did it. Holy shit, that was tense. I was worried that wasn't going to work out, but we did it. Guess we've gotten up to this point, huh? Just like Cara before, Hope starts to talk in a completely different way than she usually does. You have a bad feeling about this. You want to add my data to yours? You know I can grant your wish, except not in the way you have imagined it. Hope starts mumbling and circling around Cara. For the first time since you've met her, she acts like she doesn't have her phone in her hand. This violent aura. The Malkavian looks deeply into your eyes, and she knows you know what she's tempted to do. You silently beg for her not to do it. It doesn't feel right. She makes her decision. She smiles beatifically, and it feels purposefully fake. Be my witness. I haven't harmed her. You left her here with me, and you have no idea what happened next. Her voice is still changed from what you're used to. She's not having fun. She's driven by malice. I've disabled security, so you're free to leave now. Call me whenever you need me. I'm part of your coterie now, so I'll repay my debts or whatever. You give her a suspicious glare. It doesn't faze her, though. I still got some unfinished business here. She turns to Cara's listless body. A puppet is dangling sadly by a single thread. It would be smart of you to leave. Her tone makes it clear she's not willing to discuss anything. Your relationship is strictly professional. You sigh, shrug your shoulders, and head out from the way you came. I got a trophy I completed Hope's questline. Nice. The lights of New York welcome you above ground. See you soon, Hope. Hope you don't get into trouble. You try to celebrate the new addition to your coterie, but Cara's face appears before your eyes over and over again, making your victory bittersweet. Great. Okay, I think we need to rest now. Yeah, alright. I think we're gonna call it here for now.